Welcome to Aquatic Park today. We're very happy that the class will be continuing Friday, even though it's going to be a holiday next week. I'm planning to teach. So that's the plan. Come in at 1 if you would like to. We're going to begin with some very brief Qigong, about 20 minutes of it. This is triple burner. I'm on my stool on the edge of the front of it. If you have one, this is the easiest way for me. I have fairly short legs, but this works perfectly. You want to have your stool or chair the right size for you so that when you inhale up and exhale down, you can feel your feet on the floor and the effect actually of this very beautiful grounding move called triple burner. So here we're inhaling up and then we're exhaling through the head, the heart and lungs, and the abdomen. When we reach the abdomen, the belly moves in towards the Ming Men area, which is back here at your tailbone. This is expansion, and this is contraction. It's very slow on the exhale. Bringing you hopefully into the relaxation response. That should be the effect of this slow exhale here as you come to the end of your week and come to class. Feel the exhale down from the nose that connects also to the belly, which is called the ocean. It's the ocean, it's the sea, where you feel the inhale of the expansion of the waves. And then as they come towards the shore, they come towards your Ming Men here. And that's very important. It's your energy sea or ocean. And you should be able to feel that wave of breath just came down towards your low spine, right at the Ming Men, which is right about tailbone area or lower spine. Last one. Inhale. And sink that energy down towards your feet this time. Feel it really so slowly that the belly comes in and you can feel the energy move down. And rest your palms, either in globes of energy if you're standing, or on your thighs. Next move, to expand the ribs. This is the accordion. Inhale. Now we're expanding. This is expansion and contraction, but it's a whole specific area that affects the lungs. As you inhale, the lungs expand, the diaphragm moves down, putting pressure on the abdominal contents. And that's why you can feel this expansion at the belly. And as the lungs become smaller on the exhale, the abdomen is contracting towards the Ming Men. One more. And let's release it down to your thighs, or if you're standing, to globes of energy in resistance to gravity. So there are points in the middle of these palms in which when you connect them this way, laterally coming up and moving down, for bass drum, for example, seated, you can apply a lot of these things seated. I've got my legs fairly open here so that I can expand my drum all the way down to within my seated position. And then as I exhale, bring the elbows back, but I need to release it again. So if you are seated and you're doing some of this practice like this move, it is the same on both sides. Whether you have your left leg forward or your back leg is, whatever it is, the hands are the same. When you come to daughter on the mountaintop, daughter in the valley seated, you might want to have this much space also. So here your left hand will be close to the heart as you bring the energy down. You can see that the right wrist has gone in front of my left. And the fingertips are up all the way through this central zipping down, which we would call it in Tai Chi Chuan. So this is the inhale, the spaciousness. This is the exhale coming down. Its related move, seated, would be daughter in the valley. And I've still got my legs open on my stool so that I can inhale here, exhale down, and come up through the center with the feeling, the same feeling I would get standing, except I'm creating space for it seated. It's always comforting to know that we can do this, because there may be a day that standing is not comfortable for us. And so this is a modification that can be made, is to just have a nice stool nearby where you can do this beautiful move. This is inhaling through the valley. And as you come to the top, you're coming over those mountains that you'd climbed in a circle, and then returning to the central of the part of the circle to cut it in half and go out again. Another move we could do from seated would be push-pull. So here we have a forward circle that's going to start with the fingertips just a little bit above the shoulders here. You're going to be making a circle that comes from here, pushes out from the body, comes up in a circle, turns around to return to your heart on the inhale. You don't get the same feeling of forward and back, but you do get the feeling this is a contraction here at the belly and an expansion as you come back, as you inhale. So this is a reverse breathing move. Exhaling forward, let the fingertips come all the way up. Now turn the palms around and continue your circle back. And once again, when you're seated, there's going to be a lot of these, right? Because you'll be on the other leg, we'll be on the other leg standing, but you may be seated, which gives you some options. You don't have to do so many. You could chill out, do 9, and then forget about the other side. It's up to you. So one more move, I'm going to take a look at this, and then we're going to do our rest of our Qigong stuff. So here, this is pulling in the energy from the farthest star. Now you need to know where your circle is going to start. It's going to start right here at the breastbone here. And it's going to move out on your left side when we bring our left leg forward and back. And the energy will return to your right leg. So seated, one cautionary tale is make sure that you feel the length of the spine and the breath from the core, which would be down here at your belly and possibly through your nostrils if your nostrils are not blocked. So inhaling, the opening of the mouth helps you to also feel a fuller breath to your belly with the Qigong breath. Well, let's put that down here and ground it for a moment. Then we'll look at what it would be if everyone was on their right leg. You would be starting here, but you're going to go outside of this knee and back, still circling. But you can feel the grounding through the feet if you have a chair that gives you the right length for you to have the knees directly above the ankle and still bring your feet to the floor. So this is pulling in the energy from the farthest star in the universe through the fingertips. Now, because we're kind of coming forward on this inhale here and exhaling back, I do feel on the stool without arms that I can actually come forward a little bit on my body and come back. But I want to make sure that I don't start getting in the habit of bringing my head over my knee. So it's tricky. It's tricky to be seated. And these are things you'll have to figure out yourself if you're going to sit through the whole thing. I think that's all I wanted to say about possible seated practice today. We're going to continue with our Qigong, and we'll be standing. The important thing is that you find a way that you can always modify things for your body. If you have an injury or whatever has happened, have your water nearby as you can take a sip if you need it, and we'll start going. All right, let's go back to triple burner standing. We'll just do a few. Make sure you feel the belly breath at your energy C. Now we're going to move into bird flaps its wings from here. See what this feels like. Inhale here. Feet are in a V. This is actually the second of 2 warm-ups in Tai Chi Chih. And sink. And rise. Sink. And rise. And sink. And rise. And one more, sinking and rising. So when you sink and rise, you're coming to the ball of the feet, both feet, and the heels come up. Try it again. So that's important. Your weight is already coming forward. It's essentially a very small shift forward when the heels rise back here. And then you inhale. Second one, you release, heels lift. Third one, you do a wrist circle forward. And maybe we'll look at that next week, how you would do that seated. The other warm-up in Tai Chi Chih is considered to be very important, and it's rocking motion. So your feet are with the toes out here. You're in a V, essentially, and not too much, but you want to make sure that the heels are directly underneath the hips. So let's ride it over the Mongolian desert here, or high desert. Just tapping your heels. Good. And if that feels like a good width for you, we'll maybe bring it in a little bit and start our rocking motion to figure out how we can come forward, back, up, and down. Here we come forward, the heels rise. Here we come back, and the toes rise. So there's a little bit of sinking and rising here. Can you feel it? You're rising here as you come to the balls of the feet. You're sinking in the center, and you're rising again as you move. Let the toes come up. So what it's doing, the effect of this is to be working with all of them, the meridians that start in your feet. So you're essentially massaging them through the feet. That's where the sinking and rising becomes really important. So one more of those now. We're just looking at a few of these moves as how they are really part of Qigong. They're slow, continuous, circular, and each one has lots of possibilities, either seated or standing. Moving right on as we come into our rider on horse position, bring your feet out a little bit more and imagine a very small horse under your perineum. Bring your hands to your hips. You're on your horse. The world is at your feet and you're just riding your horse over the plains. So you would be standing, you would be probably not standing, but some people might be on your horse, but we're going to be sitting on the horse here. When we sit on the horse, we want to make sure that we're not sitting back like this, but that the spine is up and down right from the crown of the head to the Ming Men or tailbone area. Bring the tailbone in. Once you find that position, we're going to do picking up a feather, a Qigong move, warm-up move. sinking it down with a flat palm and shifting over to the other side. This would be your left side over here. And releasing. And use your peripheral vision, perhaps, to roll the eyes up as you lift that feather and as you exhale back down. Looking at the feather as it moves up, seeing the palm flatten as that feather gets released. While you're doing your shifting of the weight on your horse, just imagine you've been on horses your whole life, and this is quite easy for you. The accordion. Inhaling to make some music while you're on your horse, possibly, and exhaling back. Music is always made with the accordion on that gesture of this, what would be an exhale when we do it without music. You can blow there and feel that. Now the ribs are expanding on the inhale, and now they're contracting on the exhale. Everything is getting diminished in that rib cage, and now it's getting expanded as you inhale. Beautiful. Let's bring it down and ground it. Head rolls, bringing the chin to the chest and rolling the head over towards your right ear to right shoulder, up, clasping the hands behind the back, coming over to the other shoulder in an oval, left ear, or right ear to right shoulder for you, coming all the way across and left ear to left shoulder, and then back to the center where your chin is close to the chest. One long oval circle. And then we'll go the opposite way. We just went left. We went right to left. Now we're going to go left to right. I'm mirroring you, so when I mirror you, my opposite ear is to my shoulder, just so that it doesn't really matter, but if you're trying to follow me, you will not get confused, I hope. So what does this do? This makes a better connection between the head and neck, cervical spine, excellent for it. And coming back to the center with your chin towards the chest, draw the head up for a moment so that the chin is right parallel to the floor. And then clasping the hands behind the back to bring the shoulders down. Look towards your right. Inhale here and then exhale as you twist probably the head. Now coming back to center and inhale and twist this way. It's not really too much of a twist, but you can feel it in the neck. And coming back to center. Inhale here, exhale as you twist. Inhale to center. And exhale to twist. Good. Shoulder rolls, bringing the fingers right here inside of the shoulders, right in there. And inhale forward, up, back and down. Notice how the shoulder blades roll down the back when you open the chest there. There they go. Inhaling, and now draw them down the back with that exhale. Good. Now go the opposite way. Back, up, forward and down. That's a different feeling. All together. Good. And next we will bring the shoulders out to the side. All of these rolls at the joints are very important before we start Tai Chi Chih. So you're rolling from the shoulder all the way down to the fingers. It's one long roll. The elbows are not locked here, but they are fairly long. So it's a lot to lift. If one shoulder doesn't work as well as the other, you can always do one. Or make it whatever works for you. And then the opposite direction to the back. Like floating in a beautiful, warm ocean or whatever that is, whatever you imagine. Good. And then bring it back close to the body, and we'll rotate the wrists from the elbow down. Now bring the elbows right close to the wrist, basically to hold everything in place. And now, to the body. And now circle the wrists, isolating that movement. You discover you really can't isolate it. It's still using muscles all the way up to the elbow, right? So this is how we begin to discover how joints work, because they're connected to everything else in the body. Good. Coming down, coming back into your horse stance. We're going to do hip rolls. Forward, side, back, side. Presently, we're doing forward, left for you, back, right for you. Let's go the opposite direction. Forward, this way, back for you. And then the opposite direction, whatever it is for you. I sometimes do get confused remembering where I was before. All right, good. That looks great. And that's a very important connection from your low spine to your buttocks there and your hips. So that's why I often find myself placing my hands on my hips so that I have a long spine. And then if I need to, for example, squat down, I would just be already there so that the tailbone is connecting to the crown of the head. And I'm on my bus stool, ready to hop into the Mission 14. Let's go. Exhale down. Inhale up. We'll do a couple of groundings here. Inhale towards the heavens. Turn the palms over. Exhale towards earth. Now limit it between the low Dan Tian or energy center at the belly and the one at the heart, and sink it down. So you're breathing into the heart. And now open it out into a big circle and place your hands in prayer to come down. This is from yoga. But when we think about how there's a relationship between this and triple burner, we can realize that the connections of one are also connecting to many other things that are as old as 5,000 years. Maybe older. Let's take that the opposite way and make a Valentine. Open it out and sink it down. We've just crossed through the middle of the heart. Feel the exhale come down the central meridian. And one more Valentine. Beautiful. Knocking at the gates. You're tapping your buttocks and back. This is just basically to realize that the chi is moving into the skin when we do this and into the fascia. And we're tapping also across our abdominal organs and giving them a slight wake up, you guys, as well as the buttocks. All right, this is knocking at the gates. Now we can come up a little bit further here, just under the breast, lengthen through the spine when you do this. And we're tapping the kidneys back here. Good. Come up to your heart and lungs area. This is supposed to stimulate the lungs. And you can release the back heel as you move over here or over there. Good. Shake it out all over. Let it go. The shake starts from the feet and moves up. Ah. Make a funny sound. Ah. Woo. Very good. Knees together, feet together. Folding forward from the hips with a flat back, halfway, looking forward, taking hold of your knees and moving the circle towards your right and towards the left. Holding the knees in place, remembering that we don't want to torque the knees, meaning that they don't like moving sideways very much. And take them the other way. So little circles, don't have to be big, but you do want to go forward and back on this and to the side, just like you did the hips. Good. And now straighten the legs without locking the knees. Come down and touch your ankles. Release forward here to touch your toes if this works for you. Creating that space, then come back up and inhale. Open the legs again. Become the fountain. Inhale up. Backs of the hands touch here. Come down as the fountain. Release down. Coming back up on the inhale. Be careful. You can always just go halfway. There's no reason to have to go over. I like to flatten my spine here, so I move forward from the hips, flattening the spine, releasing it down, and then round it. That gives you a lot of space in front so that you're not too close to your body. It makes it a lot easier. So lengthen the spine. Now round it. And now imagine that you are the fountain, and this is the water, and now you're going to release it to the earth. Beautiful way to do a forward bend, hopefully without compromising your spine. And release. Release the wrists. Release the elbows. Release the shoulders. Release the head. Release the jaw. Release the hips. Release the knees. Release the ankles and the toes. How about from the outer toe back to the big toe? Big toe to the little toe. Little toes to the big toes. That really is good for you. And you can actually, from here, you can come to the outer part of the foot and then come to the inner part of the foot and then find the whole foot. Let's come into mountain position. Palms are forward. This is the best pose to do, is to feel like a mountain. Close your eyes and just breathe into the body. You can do a slow body scan here. As you lengthen through the spine, feel the connection between the crown of the head and the Ming Men, the low spine with the tailbone coming in. Feel the softness of the knees coming down to your feet. Feel each toe, your big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Fifth, fourth, third, second, big toe. And now find your whole foot, the ball of the foot. Come forward a little bit to the forward part of the foot. Come back towards the heel without going too far back so you don't lose your balance. And now come into mountain pose. Stand like a mountain. Softly breathing into the nostrils. Feeling your connection to your tummy. Try a three-part breath here, placing your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your collarbones here, or rib cage. Inhale through the belly. Make sure your feet are a little wider so you don't fall over. Inhale through the belly, rib cage, upper chest. Quiet the mind. Exhale down from the chest, down to the belly. Feel the energy move to the feet when you do that. Couple more cycles of three-part breath. Belly, rib cage, upper chest, inhaling. Feel the collarbones just rose a little bit there, and even though you kept your long spine, and now exhale down without losing that connection. Feel that energy just came to the feet. Notice that. One more. Now, placing your palms forward, you will be in mountain pose. As we begin, T'ai Chi Chih, 19 movements and one pose. Sinking and rising. Rocking motion. Feel your figure 8 as the palms draw up and over. Feel that breath connection slow you down as you gather energy from the earth and bring it up and sink it back down towards the earth while you roll forward to the balls of the feet, back over the bubbling well, back to the front of the foot, and then back towards the heels. Being conscious of the feeling of inhaling here, forward towards me, and exhaling back towards your heels, so that we bring this together in a beautiful rhythm of forward, back, up, down movement. Here's your forward inhale towards me, and here's your back exhale towards the wall behind you. Rocking motion needs to be done at least 9 times. So we'll close it now, sinking the energy into the earth and moving into our next move. Bird flaps its wings. Inhale to extend, exhale to release down. Feet are in a V here, and the knees move out, but not beyond the big toe. Straight up and down with your spine. Third one, a wrist circle forward. Two more cycles of 3. Now we'll slow it down a little more. Last one. Inhale and release. Looking at the forward weight shift for a moment, bring your hands to your hips, shift to your left and to your right. On your next shift to the right, with your foot out in a 45-degree angle, which to what will be your front foot, release your left heel forward, making sure there's space between the heels so that you're not crossing them, the feet. All right, around the platter is next. A movement that is pure circularity. There's a circle here that moves from the heart out over your left foot and back over your right foot. And the weight shift is simply forward and back without following the circle necessarily. You're in chest high water all the way through here. So feel the fingertips touching something at your chest high level. Maybe it's the water, or maybe it's gently pushing a paper boat. Here's the inhale, and here's the exhale as it moves towards the energy of the back foot. Two more. Last one. Draw the foot back in and sink the energy into the earth. Your feet are still in your horse position, right? Rider on horse position. When you shift the energy over towards your left foot, this leg will become very light and it's ready to move forward as the yin leg, the straight leg. The back leg is now the yang leg. Masculine, feminine over here. Here we go. We're going across the circle here, around the platter. Now begin to feel the shift as it glides forward towards me on the inhale and back towards your back wall on the exhale. And breathe in, start to feel the breath coming into the nostrils. When you do that, you'll also feel how the energy C at the abdomen supports this move. So feel the support as you exhale using your abdominal muscles slightly. You got to push that wave back in. A certain amount of energy coming from the energy C that connects to the feet. And last one on the right side here. Inhale to bring that foot back and to sink the energy into the ground. We'll double ground it, bringing the energy to the heart, the middle dantian, and back to the primary dantian at the abdomen. And then we're going to shift already over into this right leg to bring the left foot forward for a round the platter variation. The variation is simply picking up a ball of energy here at your left shoulder, inhaling it there, and then exhaling back towards your other foot. but you still stay on chest high water here. So here's your inhale, and here's your exhale back. And enjoy it. Enjoy bringing it towards me here. Inhale. And now release it. Beautiful. That was really nice. Like we can feel the energy of that weight shift in community. We'll call this 9, our noble Chinese number here in numerology. We'll bring that left foot in. Inhale to the middle dantian, to the heart, and exhale down towards the low dantian, and that energy is already moving towards the feet. And then shift it over, and you're ready for our next around the platter variation, inhaling forward with the ball on that side and sinking it into the back foot. We say that when the energy is moved to the fingers and the toes, it's moved through thousands of cells. So the chi is powerful, just like the prana and yoga. They're the same thing, just very evenly distributed in this practice so beautifully. A moving meditation. Two more here, this one and then one more. Now inhale. The inhale moves us towards the heavens. Turn the palms over, and the exhale moves towards the earth. Double ground it now. And now our next move is bass drum. Palms are maybe 12 inches apart or more, depending on how wide you are across the chest. Shifting over here towards your right, bring the left heel forward. Back foot is already 45-degree angles to this left leg. It's going to come right out from the hip. And you build a drum out of that encircles your body with a big drum. You're the middle of it. Inhale. And the elbows come back with the hips as you move forward with your circle and back on the exhale. Notice how the front leg begins to bend at the knee and the back leg begins to straighten at the knee without locking. How the back heel comes up when you're in forward like this. And as you come back and bend that back leg a little bit, the front leg is straight and it's causing the toes to rise. Toes right, it's in front, but you come through a glide here. Glide forward towards me on the inhale. Glide back through the center with feet on the earth and then release the toe. That'll give you a long weight shift, which strengthens the feet, connects to the brain, creating a slowdown of your heart, and increasing your focus as you move from the center. And sometimes when you make the circle big enough and the fingers come up, you can actually feel it bathing your face with chi with that circle. We'll call that 9 and bring that foot back in to ground it through the earth in your rider on horse position. Inhale and release. Shift over towards your left. Feel the lightness of this right leg, which will easily move forward from the hip. Bass drum, finding your shape first before you start shifting. And then when you start shifting, feel the back heel just lifted there as you straighten that leg. And now the front toe lifts as you straighten the front leg. But in the middle, you're on the earth. The releases happen automatically with the straightening and bending. So take time to pursue that feeling. It's all about feeling it. Three more. Last one. Sink it into the earth. To ground it and to double ground it. Feel it come to your heart, maybe up to your head this time. And sink it down really slowly on the exhale. Bass drum has come to a beautiful conclusion here. And now we move into the companion pieces of Daughter on the Mountaintop and Daughter in the Valley. Let's shift back and forth for a moment. Release any tension in the fingers and elbows and wrists. Sink it through the earth. Shift over towards your right. Bring the left foot forward. Your Daughter on the Mountaintop will start just outside of the waist here. Inhaling up and releasing the left hand close to the heart. 2 circles. Interlocking here with your own close to your own heart. Inhaling and exhaling down. Coming forward on the inhale. And back on your exhale. Last one on your left. Bring the left foot in. Inhale to sink it through the earth. Shift towards your left to release the arms the same way, just outside of your waist here. Palms up. Bring your right heel forward. And inhale towards me and exhale back with your left hand still close to the heart. Good. When we get to the center here of our heart shape, cross with the fingertips up. Beautiful. That looks great. Now open the circle at the bottom. 3 more. Last one on your right side. And sink it through the ground. Daughter on the mountaintop is deeply connected to the next move, which is its companion. This time she starts on top of the mountain and moves into the valley. Daughter in the valley. Sinking. To open it on the inhale here. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. It's like a field of flowers, right? Come through the valley and see it in your mind. And then come over to the tops of the mountains and look down at it below in your imagination. Daughter in the valley. Last one on your left. Sink it through the earth. Return the foot to your rider on horse position. Sink it. Shift it towards your left. Starting with your palms above the shoulders here, coming through the valley on the exhale here. Here's the valley inhale. So you inhale forward towards me, and you exhale back towards the wall behind you. Beautiful. Bending the front legs, straightening the back, and lifting the heel. And now lifting the toe, but coming through the middle is a glide. And a glide back, and then release the toe. Breathing into the belly and the nostrils. Release the jaw slightly so that you feel the tongue on the upper palate. That way you feel the fullness of the breath. Two more. We can make that more of a circle, I think. Circle up to come over the top of the mountains here so that you almost have this feeling of the Valentine again. One more. Good. It should have expansion in it, right? Because it's over the mountains and into the valley. And now we inhale and exhale this a couple times. Beautiful. Grounding it through the earth and resting on globes of energy. And now we move to our first side-to-side weight shift, our most important one. And this is carry the ball to the side. Sinking and rising is also part of it. So here I just am sinking down. My feet are in a V here. So you can see that. Now I'm going to wind up, pick up the ball. I've shifted into this substantial leg here. I'm going to release this other leg straight out. without locking the knee. And now shift over 3 times. And then bring in the outside leg and sink it. Wind up. Move it. Inhale to sink it through the earth. And one more. Beautiful. That looks great. Let's go back. Inhale it. You've already sunk down a little bit. The knees are both slightly bent. Release the straight leg out there, your yin leg, and move towards it. Wind up. Release the heel and move. Notice how the weight shift pulls the ball to the side. But the circle also is part of that. So there's a lot of circularity here. Circle moves up and down as the arms release. Then we'll go back now, winding up, releasing the heel, and moving. Sink it. Last one. Double ground it. One more grounding. Sleepwalk it down on your exhale. All right, now we move into our next 2 moves. This is push-pull. We looked at that at the beginning. And pulling in the energy. So shifting over towards your right. Left heel comes forward. Push-pull. Remember, it's a circle. The fingertips come down with the heel of the hand. You draw the fingertips up. You turn the wrist and return the circle to the heart. And then it moves down again. Here's your exhale. Here's your inhale as you come back. So push it forward and pull it back. There, notice how we're exhaling forward this time. And inhaling back to the heart. It's the only only move marked like this that we exhale forward. But there's other sort of push-pull things happening in this practice, so you'll identify it again. You obviously have to inhale first before you push it forward. So inhale there, and then exhale forward. Give yourself enough breath that you can do this. There you go. Maybe as the inhale comes back, you do bathe your face. Inhale there. And now start exhaling forward. That's better, I think. So it's a full circle. Three more. Last one. Inhale the leg back. Send that into the earth. Shift towards your left to bring the right forward. Push, pull right side. Let this just lighten and let it move forward. And now inhale first. And now exhale. Draw the energy up in the circle. And now inhale back to your heart. And from there, move it forward so that it's all connected like one circle that never stops. Three more. Last one. Inhale the leg back in and sink it into the earth. Double time. We're about to move into some fairly energetic moves with the taffies. So let's fully ground this. Bring it up to your head. Bring it down again. Bring it up to the trees that we know are outside, somewhere in the city. Some in full bloom now. Exhale it down. One more grounding. Then we'll drink some water. We're ready to go on soon. But first we have to do the pulling in the energy from the farthest star in the universe. That'll take us into the taffies. So you pull in the energy from the farthest star in the universe on your left side, drawing in that energy from the farthest star in the universe to your heart. A visualization in which you can imagine whatever you want from the most distant star today. Patience, kindness, generosity, the ability to listen to others, and the desire for all of us to do better. Something really important for you, for each of us. From the distant star that we bring it, the energy in through our fingers with a wish. Last one on your left. Sink the energy through the earth, starting with the inhale first, up to the stars, and then exhaling down to the earth. And then shift the weight over towards your left to release the right for pulling in the energy again. Two more. Last one. Draw the foot back in and ground it simply into the earth twice. Coming into mountain pose, we'll come back in after we've had about 10 seconds here for drinking water, and then we'll come back to the mountain pose again. So if you're late, not to worry. Mountain pose. We'll be moving forward into the taffies now. Pulling taffy in 3 variations: anchor, circles, taffy, and perpetual motion taffy. Preparing for basic taffy. Left hand under right elbow. Feel the top hand as it moves across here, and how one hand moves up and the other hand moves down, supporting the back leg. Basic taffy. Feel the energy between the palms as they pull apart with the weight shift. Drawn this way, releasing, and then drawn the opposite way. Feel the energy within. Two more. And the last one to come back to center. Sinking and rising on your inhale, exhale. Double ground it. Moving into anchor taffy. Your right leg will be anchored as your left leg moves forward with taffy. This is your invite hand. It's invited you to the left. It was the underneath hand. Now you ground, and now you pull the tappy to the side. And the anchor pulled in just then. Now that what was the anchor leg is now the forward leg. And the other leg is not moving until the end of the side shift. Rise and sink. Open the hips, sink, and move it to the side, pulling in your anchor, your yin leg. Then let what was the yin leg become the yang leg. Always remembering to ground, even between the front and back and the side shifts. Right leg forward. Right leg to the side on the inhale, and then exhale it to sink. Feel the invite hand draw you towards that left side. Sink it, and then go there. And pull that anchor in. Couple more. Forward shift. Keeping the back leg anchored. Ground it. And move it to the side. Beautiful. Moving forward with the inhale to meet. Now exhale maybe there. Inhale to rise. To sink on the exhale. And then inhale to bring in your anchor. Yes, good. Oh, let's do two more. It's too much fun. Anchor taffy. Two more sets. And last one. Wow, that's really coming along so well. Wow. All right, circles taffy is next. Ready? Sink and rise. Sink and rise. Sink, stay sinking. Wind up and pull the taffy towards your left with your invite hand. Inhale now to rise. Sink. Sink, feel the circle. Sink, wind up with a little bit of a half circle there. Pull the taffy. And when you feel it get to that foot, draw in the foot, other foot. Moving to the left. The invite hand is underneath the elbow. Sink, rise, sink, rise, sink, wind up, and pull towards this way. When you feel the energy come to the front of the toes there, draw in the other foot. Last circles taffy. Inhale to sink. Beautiful. Let's ground it a couple times there. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Bring it to your head this time. And then bring it down through all three dantians, the head, the heart and lungs, and the abdomen. And rest on globes of energy for a moment before we start perpetual motion taffy with heel step. Sinking and rising. Only we really don't do too much rising through here. It's pretty much that we already sank. The tailbone is in. There's a connection between your low spine and the crown of the head and the back of the skull. And you're in a slight crouch here. So be careful. But if you keep the feet in a V, you should be fine. You come over here, now release the heel on the opposite side and then drop the heel and let the energy move to the toes there. Drop the other heel when you finish the shift over here. You're ready to release the other leg. Good. And have your hips facing forward here. So they're parallel to your back of your room. That's probably safer than doing anything else for some of our senior bodies. But feel the shift fully over here. Feel the heel move down, the energy move towards the toes in that leg, and then you're ready to move to the opposite side with a heel step. This can be done way over 9 times, but we'll do it a couple more times. Right here. This is where we're going to stop. Inhale, and all the tappies have come to a graceful conclusion. We'll double ground it here. As we move into our next move, which is working the pulley. Shifting forward and back on this, just let's look at the move first. So with this arm, if this arm is forward, this foot will come forward. And as you shift, you'll need to shift over this way, probably swiveling on your back ball of the foot and swiveling on your heel to make this work as a cross-body move. Here's the exhale. Here's the inhale of that shift, of that hip back. The other arm is crucial, but it's a follow-up hand. So you've got 2 circles going on at once. This hand will move back, and then it'll move forward. You don't have to bring it that far overhead. Some people do. You just have to watch the shoulder if you do that. So in general, most of us are doing this with the fingers up here, but there are 2 circles. So you have to determine how big do you want that circle to be, the one in back and the one in front. Working the pulley. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Let the front leg be the dominant side here. As you exhale forward with that left hand, draw the hip back on the inhale. Two more here. And draw the foot back in. Inhale to sink it through the earth. Bring your left hand under the hip bone here and the right hand forward as you bring the right foot out. And you'll be exhaling forward and inhaling back through there. Ready? Drop back. Drop forward. Exhaling forward. Inhaling back. Last one. Beautiful. Sink it through the earth on the inhale, exhale. Double ground it. Coming into light at the top of the head, light at the temple. Sinking and rising, feet in a V. Feeling your circle here as you bring in the light to right above the head and right over the crown back here. And sink and rise that light at the top of the head. Circulate the energy here over the crown. Hold it. Inhale it. Sink and rise it and let it go in a circle that moves into the ground. Palms move down towards the ground. Pick up the left hand as it moves to the heart on the inhale through the central meridian, and then sink it down through the central meridian on the exhale and bring it to the temples, light at the temple. Still feet in a V, sinking and rising. The knees will move out, not beyond the big toes, but they're there, ready to go. Sink and rise. Holding that feeling of mixing the energy right outside the head here. 6 to 9 times, and then inhaling to extend through the spine and feeling the two hemispheres of the brain between those palms. Sink and rise your temple, your own thoughts, words, and actions that should be the same. And sink and rise it. And let it go. Out into the earth. And back to your heart with your left hand. Inhale here and sink everything out slowly. We're coming next to joyous breath. Inhale, feet in a V, but fairly energetic will be this joyous breaths. Come to the balls of the feet, sink it out 4 times on the exhale. It's our most yang move, most masculine move, so very macho. That may not be fair. Very strong. Inhale it. And sink it through the earth slowly. Our next move is passing clouds. Bringing your left hand up and your right hand down, feet in a V. Feet stay on the earth, but there is a sense of a little bit of forward back stuff here as you brush the elbows. Forward and back. With your side to side feeling. Passing clouds. All things change. Even when the mirror hand passes us, we may not follow it when we're in meditation. Keeping things circular, moving from the center, connecting mind, body, and spirit. Staying focused. Let's slow it down and end here. Passing clouds comes to a graceful conclusion. Sink it through the earth. Six healing sounds is next. Ho, hu, su. Heart, spleen, liver. Shi, shi, chui. Lungs, triple heater, kidneys. Left hand, left foot. Right foot, right hand. Last one, 5 chuis and the heel step. Circling the energy of yin and yang, all the opposites, every possible direction. And bringing your left heel to your right ankle bone for cosmic consciousness pose. A big circle of energy as the left hand moves closer to the heart, looking through the window of eternity and over it. Interlocking the fingers, bringing them overhead for gratitude. Qigong, Tai Chi Chuan, and the connections of both in Tai Chi Chih, with gratitude to Justin Stone and his teacher, Wen Shan Wang, 1974. Thank you for your practice.